Only a handful of people can actually work out that the Anunnaki were also other people in different locations at different times. So this is Murdoch, and he was also known as Ra, or Horus, and Apollo. Now, he was the god of Babylon city, and he later on in life he took over from Enlil as head of the pantheon. Now, his mum and dad were enki, so that makes Enlil his uncle, and Damkina. Now, she was the goddess of water, which makes sense because Enki was the god of water, and that's her name there. I'm not even going to try and pronounce it. Aphrodite. So important family, but Murdoch's history is quite military style, shall we say. I'm just going to address the people that say there's no space out there, there's no outer space, because there's people that keeps posting saying to me that where I'm saying outer space or heaven, which in the Book of Enoch they say heaven, but really it just is translated wrong, should be space. So I'm just going to read something from the Book of Enoch now. Bear in mind, back then they, if you're saying that these were not aliens, then they had no technology to look at the stars, they had no technology to cross up into heaven, or space as we call it. So I'll just read you a paragraph here. I saw at the end of the firmament, which obviously is the atmosphere, clearly, I saw at the end of the firmament the heaven above. So if there's no outer space, what is heaven? What is heaven? There's something outside of the dome then, and you're saying it's not outer space. Is it heaven? Are you telling me that everything outside the dome is heaven, or is it space? By now you're probably working out that the Anunnaki were inbreeding with themselves. So that's the chart here if you just want to have a look through it. Like I say, you got the sister doing things with the brothers and whatever else, and that's basically because they wanted to keep their bloodline 100% pure, going back upwards from the king. Now that all stems from their planet Nibiru, where they wanted to keep their bloodline separate from other families. So that's exactly why they did that. There was a lot of fighting on their own home planets. But this is the Anunnakis, which is Elohim, as we know. That's their sort of tree. But if we go to the Greek side of it, if we're going to pretend that we don't realise that Apollo is such and such, and all these people are actually the same people. This is just an inbreeding chart again, so they are all the same people inbreeding. Ninurta, possibly pronounced totally wrong, he was the god of war and also ploughing of fields, and thunder and lightning, and some laws as well. So I'm guessing these devices here had some sort of electrical discharge, because as we know, Zeus had his thunderbolts as well, and the trident for Poseidon had these three things. So I'm guessing there's some electrical discharge from them. Now his parents are quite interesting, because wait for it. Okay, so there's his name there, Ninurta, probably pronounced wrong, and his dad was Enlil, we know as the prince of the princely son of Anu and brother of Enki, but his sister is the one that had their child. So him and his sister had the child, but Ishka, no, he's not a little dwarf, although he does look like one. He's still probably 8 to 10 foot tall, just a bad carving, I guess. Now he was the Sumerian god of thunder and rain, hang on, but in springtime. So really, let's be honest, when we say god of this and god of that, it's just their job at that moment in time. So that's who he was. And his parents, let's go meet his parents. His parents were Enlil, as we know, the main prince that came down, and possibly Ninil. Now, there is some speculation that it was with someone else, but we'll go along with this for now. He's a bit of a character, old Enlil, isn't he?